Alafiani and Ekasano, I think it is the hour of the day. So greetings to this particular hour of the day, and I pray that you are peace, and that peace is what is at the center of your being at this time. I shall, and I do well to those who are praying the same for me. It is I, the Ilosha Apetabi, Ola Omi Oshunyami Akalatunde. Happy to be back here with you for a few more minutes. I'm really excited about the popularity of the Yes I Am a Witch video. That one is being just viewed and viewed and viewed all over the place. So I'm excited about that. It has almost 2,000 views the last time I checked. I didn't check this morning. So it is the most popular video that I have created thus far. It's followed by the Human Beings Become Orisha, which has almost 600 views. So I'm happy that people are watching, happy that people are learning, happy that people are enjoying. So I'm enjoying teaching you through this particular medium. Um, and I mean, it's amazing how it's reaching people. I recently decided to keep my energy very close to myself and use my energy to move and handle and take care of things in my own life. So I actually deleted myself from all Facebook groups and all other internet groups, and just began to put all of my energy into my own thing. And that has been so powerful. I actually have so many more views and so much more of a reaction and so many more people seeing me. I'm reaching a wider audience is what I'm trying to say since I've done that. And one of the reasons that I was in the groups was because I thought that would help me to reach a wider audience, but it actually didn't work that way. So that to me is a testimony to making sure that you put your energy into what you actually want to be doing and not what you think you should be doing to achieve what you want to be doing. Put your energy where you feel the most comfortable putting it and where it brings you the most joy to put it, and you will find that that will lead you and guide you towards the fulfillment of your own personal destiny, which is related to the topic that I wanted to discuss today. And what I wanted to discuss was the way of life of our ancestors and why it's so important for each people to follow the way of life that their ancestors laid out for them. I had the pleasure and the honor of attending with my two youngest children the Ibeji festival that was held by the United Nation of Ifa, Orisha, and Vodun here in Atlanta, Georgia. So that's a shout out to them. A shout out to Iayomi, who is the Yeye over that temple, and her husband, who is the Baba over that temple, and all of the wonderful work that they're doing in Atlanta's African-centered community at this time. It is a blessing and a pleasure to be there with you and to be walking this journey with you at this time. So give thanks and may Shun continue to bless your endeavors and your household with prosperity and bliss. Asheo. And so I was at the festival, and we had a lot of activities for children. That was what the festival was for, because the Ibeji are the Orisha of twins, and they're also the Orisha that are manifested in that childlike energy and the energy of children. So they're the Orisha that we use to praise children and to remember our children and the necessity of our children and the beauty of that child experience that still is, very much alive within each and every one of us. So the day's activities were set up so that all of our children will be having fun, and we can hear their laughter and participate in and share their joy. So after those activities, of course, as is the way of African people, we praise the deities in form of song and dance. And the Yoruba word for this type of praise is bembe. It's like song and dance. It's a party for the deities, where you invite the deities to come and party with you. And they come. They always come. They've always come for thousands of years, and they still come to us. And I always find that to be such a sweet, sweet blessing that no amount of colonization, no amount of captivity has made us unfit vessels for our deities. Our deities still always come and dance inside us and through us. It's beautiful to see. It's beautiful to be a part of. It's beautiful to participate in. So while we were invoking the deities in this way, And our theme came and it began to dance with us and participate. Our theme is the Onago term for albino. And in our tradition, Afin is a sacred being. Afin is a being that is sacred to the Orisha known as Obatala. Obatala is the Orisha of creation. Obatala molded each of us in the wombs of our mothers and molded the first human beings as well. And so Afin are sacred to him. And so when it was time for us to sing to Obatala, the Afin came to the forefront of the Bembe, and he danced for Obatala, and all of us on Obatala, I'm a child of Obatala, had to come and dance for our deity, but it was very beautiful to have him dance at the very forefront and to dance behind him and experience this through him. And as I was dancing, I was struck by the necessity of embracing the traditions of your ancestors because they have within them all of the small components that you need in order to live life fully. That each individual person who has come through that lineage needs. You know? Okay. Kamari and Nubia, excuse me for one moment. Can you guys please go and take your toys and yourselves and play in your room? Don't pick her up. Please put her down. Please put her down. And if you pick her up, be very gentle with her. Just like somebody can hurt you if they squeeze you too hard or hold you too hard, right? Then she's the same way. Can you hand me those two papers? And when she makes that little noise, you hear her making that little noise. What's that noise? What is that noise when she makes it, Nubia? So what is that nice? Do we want to make Sheba cry? Do we want to hurt Sheba? Okay, then don't pick her up. Don't pick her up if she doesn't want to be picked up. Put her down. If she wants to be picked up, she'll come and get in your lap. But if she doesn't want to be picked up, please leave her down, okay? But I need you all to go and play in your room because you're playing with Sheba and you're talking to her and you're reading your book, and that is interrupting me. So please go and play in your room. Nubia, I'm speaking to you as well. Nubia. Okay, well, please go and lay down in your room. And I will be in once I'm done. Thank you. Thank you for your patience. But your tradition, the tradition of your bloodline ancestors, the tradition of those people that you came through and that you came from, is tailor-made for you. This is why it is the tradition that you should be practicing. This is why this is the tradition that empowers you. This is why this is the tradition that makes you whole, that makes you happy, and that makes you completely and totally healthy on all levels. Spiritual, emotional, mental, and then physical. Because the physical is a representation of how you are feeling spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. That's what the physical is. So this is the tradition that can had to expel Sheba. This is the tradition that can feed you and nurture you in that way. The tradition of your ancestors. No culture has the right to impose the lifestyle and the tradition of its ancestors upon others. No culture has the right to do that. And any culture that does that is leading you towards self-destruction, is leading you away from self-sufficiency, and is leading you into dependency. Any culture that does not teach you to embrace the fullness and the totality of what you are is doing so because they want you to be dependent upon them. And whenever you are dependent upon another culture for your existence, you have put yourself in the position of a non-being. You do not have power and control over your own life. And those who do not have power and control over their own lives are non-entities. They're non-beings. They don't make a mark as they should be doing up on the stage of life, up on the stage of the world. It is wicked and evil to teach that any culture, that any way of life, that any lifestyle is universal. That is a teaching of destruction. That is a teaching of wickedness. There is no lifestyle. There is no culture. There is no religious tradition that is universal. There is no religious tradition that is correct for every human being on this planet or the other planets. Any whatever the beings are called on the other planets. There is no tradition that is correct for us all. There is no way of life that is correct for us all. Each individual people have, through careful study and living of life, gained an understanding of what is correct for their kind. And they have passed this down to their kind through culture. We find a break in this now recently over the past 400 or 500 years due to Eurocentric thinking that came out of colonialism, the wicked system of colonialism and its children, capitalism, imperialism, and its forefather, mercantilism. All of these things have begun to strip people away from their ancient culture. All of these things have begun to teach you this erroneous, wrong belief that everyone should be trying to live life one way. That all people should be trying to live life one way. And what is if it is that all people should live life one way, what is the way that we are being led to live life? Is it a way that is peaceful and prosperous and that is making everyone happy? Or is it a way in which we are taking our energy and our resources and filling the pockets and the coffers of another? That's what you're being led to do. There is no universal way of life. There is no universal religion. No ancient religion proselytized. And what that means is no ancient religion went out to gain followers. That is ludicrous to us as walkers of an ancient path, to go out and gain followers. What do I look like doing that? As a Yoruba person, as an Anago person who pays homage to the Orisha, it is idiotic for me to then go to a Fawn person who pays homage to the Vodun and say, you are doing it wrong. You need to be over here worshiping the Orisha. That's a joke to us. That's something that's funny to us. It is idiotic for me to go and approach a Cherokee person and say the deity of thunder is actually Shango. And your name for the deity of thunder is wrong. And you have to call the deity of thunder by this Anago name in order for him to listen and hear you. That is ridiculous. But that's what the majority of us are doing. We have wholesale listened to the cultural norms of someone else and decided to embrace them as though they belong to us. And where is it leading us? What has it gotten us? What have we gained? Are we being nourished? Are we being fed? Do we feel whole? Do we feel fulfilled? And you can look at our actions and see if we feel fulfilled. So we all know that the answer to that is no. We are not being nourished. We are not being fed. We are not self-sufficient. We are not self-assured. We are completely and totally dependent upon the same group of people that heaped heinous atrocities upon the heads of our ancestors. That's who we're dependent upon. And as long as we continue to follow and to embrace and to walk the path of their culture, we will continue to be dependent upon them. Because only they can show us the way of their ancestors. If someone of another cultural group came to me and wanted to practice the way of my ancestors, they're going to have to always continue to be dependent upon me. Because I'm the only one who has the direct line to my God, to my ancestors, to my spiritual forces. You have to be in the lineage to have the direct line of communication. So I'm the only one who has that. So if someone else is going to practice that, they got to continue to be my follower. They're never going to become self-sufficient. They're never going to gain control over their own lives because they have to wait and see what my ancestors have told me. And I'm the only one that my ancestors are going to speak to. You're not going to gain self-sufficiency through following the cultures of other people. You're not going to gain self-assurance, and you will never fulfill your destiny until you begin to walk your personal path. Your personal path includes the lineage that you were born into, includes the family that you were born into, includes the cultural history and heritage and inheritance that you were born into. If you cannot and if you will not embrace this, you can't fulfill your destiny. You're listening to someone else's spiritual forces, and you're walking behind them, and they cannot nourish you. I look upon it as breast milk. Each child that you conceive, take it in your room. Each child that you conceive has breast milk that's created by your body specifically for that child, that takes care of and nourishes that being down to the very minutest detail. This is exactly the amount of this mineral that this being needs. This is exactly the amount of this vitamin that this being will need. Your body creates the milk just for that baby. And so that baby is nourished perfectly for those first 3 years that he or she is nursing. This is what your culture is for you. It is that type of nourishment. It takes care of you down to the minutest detail. Look at the things that we are missing. I spoke about the Afin. Africa has the highest birth rate of Afin or albino than any other continent on Earth, Mother Onile. And so we created a tradition in which we honored them as sacred and as holy. Do you see how that nourishes us? Just like breast milk, down to the minutest detail. We do not look upon this as a mutation or as some sort of degenerate gene or as something being incorrect or improper. This is a holy being, a sacred being. Do you see how our culture has worked into itself everything that we need to be nourished and to be strengthened? Even down to the way of dress, which is the most flattering for us, which looks the most beautiful on us. African clothing is always very colorful, and colorful clothing is the most beautiful upon people with melanated skin. It looks beautiful on us. It brings us out. Our adornment is always very large. That's always beautiful on people with melanated skin. It's right there in the culture. Even if you look at our foods. When we were in West Africa, one of the staples of our diet was yam, West African yam, not Western sweet potato, two different things. One of the staples of our diet was yam. And they found that in this yam are the things that we need to keep the sickle cell disease from manifesting, the sickle cell disease from causing the suffering. Huh? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. She's not going to. That keeps it from causing the amount of suffering that we see it causing here in the United States. See how the culture has everything in it that you need? Because it's you. It comes from you. And so it is perfect for you. Just as all of my children are beings that come from me. And so my milk and my nurturing and my care is what is perfect for them. Tailor-made for them. The ways of our ancestral mothers, the ways that they have given us and passed down to us and are trying to continue to pass down to us are what is perfect for us. It's the nourishment that we need. Okay, I'll fix it. It's the nourishment that we need to feed ourselves mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and then physically. Anyone that is telling you that their way of life is universal is lying to you. What's wrong? Okay. No, don't hit her. That is not nice at all. It's not nice. Go ahead and back me. Go ahead and back. No, no, don't say but. Okay, now that's enough. No more. Go ahead. Go ahead and finish. I'll fix it. Play with something else for right now. No hitting. The way of life that our ancestral mothers cultivated is what is perfection for us. It is what will nourish us in every part that we need. It is what will nourish every part of us, is what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry, got a little flustered. So that is what we need to be embracing. Anyone that's telling you that there's one way of life, that there's one religion, that there's one cultural identity, that there's one way of living life that is correct for everybody, and that everybody should drop their way of doing things and follow this way of life, that person is leading you very quickly to self-destruction. That's where that leads. That leads you away from self-sufficiency and directly into dependency upon that culture for everything that you need. Because you do not have the keys to unlock the doors, the spiritual, the physical, the economic doors of that culture. You have the keys to do that in your own culture. And each human culture on Earth, Mother Onile, has something beautiful to offer. I do not believe in saying, don't see my color. See my color. I do not believe I am not my hair, I am not my skin. I am both my hair and my skin, and I love them both. And I want you to see them when you see me, because I have something to offer as this. I don't have to melt myself down and try to be you in order to have something of value to offer. I have something of value to offer from my own culture, in my own way of living, in my own way of my own unique experience of life. I have something to offer in that way. So I don't believe in the philosophy of being colorblind. I don't believe in or ascribe to the philosophy of, here, go and take her into her room. Close my door, please. The philosophy of the melting pot. I don't want to be melted down. Please close the door. Thank you. I want to stand firm and strong and obviously who I am unapologetically with my cultural norms being seen, because they're just as important. So that's my sharing for today, amidst all of this other things that I've shared with you. Because all the mothers keep commenting that they love to see me sharing my parenting while I'm sharing my other thoughts. So you've seen it all. I've had to parent everybody right on down to the cat while we're in the midst of this particular video. So that's my sharing. No culture is universal. No culture has the one right way of doing things. Every culture has something to bring and something to offer. Okay. And you will never know, okay, what you have to offer until you embrace the culture and tradition of your ancestors. Now, I do pray. Be blessed and see you again soon.